All right, we are almost done with week 2 in the NFL as we just wrapped up the Sunday night game between the Bears and the Texans. It was a really good week of games, I thought. A couple of blowouts here and there, but we learned a lot about a lot of teams out there. Huge upsets all over the league, and we got some potential fraud alert teams. But I'm going to go through, break down each game from Sunday, give you my initial reactions from what I saw. But let's get into it. Do we have a fraud and maybe a surprise team on our hands? Okay, first game for us here, we got the Saints going into Dallas and putting a beat down on the Cowboys. And the Saints, are they maybe the surprise of the league so far to start the season? Back-to-back 40-point performances. Derek Carr has led a scoring drive on 15 straight possessions. So all 15 possessions with Derek Carr leading to a score this year. And this game was kind of over before it started. Now, it could have been a confluence of awful things. Alvin Kamara goes crazy today, has 4 touchdowns. But he's playing a Mike Zimmer defense. You might have remembered Christmas Day a long few years ago. 6 touchdowns against a Mike Zimmer defense. And maybe the Cowboys' game plan's been kind of figured out. Cowboys have to get a lead, protect it, and let their defense tee off. If they're having to go back and forth with the team, this defense just struggles. The offense struggles. There aren't the talent at weapons out there. I mean, CeeDee Lamb had a nice day, 4 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Absolutely nothing in the second half. Most of that came, I think it was 65 yards on his touchdown reception where he broke 2 tackles. But the real story here is the Saints. Like, the Saints maybe are for real. We knew the Saints defense was going to be pretty good, but I wasn't sure how good the Saints defense was. But it's the offense, man. Derek Carr, like, over 20 yards a throw today. 20 yards a throw for the season, something crazy like that. Derek Carr is cooking right now, 15.2 today. But again, only 16 passes, 11 for 16, 243. Again, Alvin Kamara, bell cow, 20 carries, 115, 3 tutties on the ground. Also had 65 and a touchdown there. Rashid Shaheed with another big touchdown pass early in this game to set the tone. That's the same as week 1. Saints are really interesting. Again, I don't know how good the Cowboys are. I've kind of had the Cowboys on watch. Wasn't really blown away by beating a terrible Browns team and Deshaun Watson. So I think the Cowboys maybe aren't as good as we thought. Saints potentially a lot better than we thought. So another surprising upset for us. Buccaneers go into Detroit, take down the Lions 20-16. But hey, man, Baker, money maker. When you doubt Baker Mayfield, that's when he plays his best. Baker with another awesome, gritty game. Only 12 for 19, 185 yards, but had a touchdown, had an awesome 5 carries for 34 yards, and the game-winning touchdown for the Buccaneers. Now, no points in the fourth quarter for either team. Lions had a couple of shots late, and they just really struggled to move the ball in this game. Kind of a weird game. 55 pass attempts for Jared Goff. 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. Couldn't get anything really going on the ground. Even though Gibbs was averaging 6.5 yards a carry, it just felt like it was a slog, and something just feels a little bit off with this Lions offense. They're not quite attention to details. Like, horrible clock management at the end of the first half cost him a field goal, because this was a back and forth game pretty much the entire game. It was like a field goal fest to start. I think we had 3 straight field goals to go, maybe 4. But it was just kind of an ugly all-around game. But Chris Godwin, the big winner for Tampa Bay, 7 catches, $117, a touchdown. I love Godwin in fantasy this week. But if he's going to play like this, pairing with Mike Evans, a solid 3 catches, 42 yards, nothing crazy there. If he's going to play like this Buccaneers team is really scary. Now, another awful day on the ground. But Rachaad White, only 10 carries, 18 yards, abysmal day on the ground. Bucky Irving, not much better. And Aiden Hutchinson had himself a day. 5 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson. This Lions pass rush really did a good job. Secondary, not bad. I can't complain. You couldn't stop Godwin, but the secondary was a sieve last year. I think Detroit, this is kind of what happens. Now, Detroit started 1-1 last year, but you let down a little bit. You have a huge season, and now every team is going after you. Everybody has a target. We got to play the Lions. Last year, didn't have that kind of focus. They got that kind of focus now. Tampa Bay, obviously, losing that playoff game. Big win for the Bucs, 2-0. We sleeping on the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, what an incredible transformation he's had to his career since leaving Cleveland. Hated the guy, absolutely love the guy now. Another shocker for us today. Green Bay taking care of business at home, 16-10, but no Jordan Love. Malik Willis, I cannot believe the Indianapolis Colts let Malik Willis win the game. Willis, not bad, 12 of 14, 122 yards, had a touchdown pass. But the real story here is the Colts. Colts defense, awful. It took them forever before they could figure out, hey, let's stop Josh Jacobs. 32 carries, 151 yards. 4.7 yards a carry. I knew Josh Jacobs was going to get the bulk of the touches today. How could you not? Malik Willis even had 6 carries. They got Jaden Reed involved, Marshawn Lloyd. This team couldn't throw the ball. We knew that. Malik Willis cannot throw the ball. He struggles to throw the ball. And this Colts defense is bad. I wasn't sure if it was just how good the Texans offense is. And on the flip side, Anthony Richardson, 3 INTs. This is the Richardson roller coaster. Looks great, makes crazy plays one week. Awful the next week. 34 throws, only 17 completions. I guess 17 completions is a lot number-wise from him, but under 50% completion for them. Jonathan Taylor had a nice day. Again, another guy. I felt like they didn't get him started going until the second half. 12 carries, 100 yards. The offense, whatever. Alec Pierce is definitely the guy for Anthony Richardson. 5 catches, another touchdown this week, so that's something to keep your eye on here. But something is deeply wrong with the Colts. I had the Colts pretty high in my power rankings last week. I thought they were just a good team against another good team in Houston, but this is a pathetic performance for them. I'm really worried. I know I wasn't buying in on the Anthony Richardson hype. He'd only played 4 games. He only finished 2 games in his NFL career. And this kind of looked like a guy who's a young rookie quarterback. Just abysmal game for him against a team's defense who's not very good. This is not a good defense in Green Bay, but superior coaching, I guess, won the day, even though I'm a pretty big fan of Shane Steichen. Disappointing performance all around for Indianapolis. Good job for the Packers. Get a win. Stay afloat until Jordan Love comes back. All right, the Jets take care of business in Tennessee, winning 24-17. A lot closer than any Jet fan or any person who thought this game would have been. Tennessee, feisty squad, man, on defense. But Will Levis is just bad. Will Levis is an awful quarterback. 19-28, not awful, 92 yards, a touchdown. But he did the exact same thing he did last week. Just threw another back-breaking interception, threw the game away to the Jets, and the Jets were down early in this game, and it was looking bad. Rodgers, 30 pass attempts. Don't love that from him. Had 2 touchdown passes. Nice throw to Breece Hall for the touchdown. Hall, only 62 yards on the ground. Braylon Allen, the youngster, the youngest player in the NFL. In fact, the youngest player since 1930 to score a touchdown from scrimmage in an NFL game. Had himself a pair of touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air. But the big thing is here, this passing attack, 4 catches for Garrett Wilson, 7 for Breece Hall, 2 to Braylon Allen. Mike Williams got 1. Lazard. It's just not good. This is basic ass West Coast middle school offense from the Jets. Why is Nathaniel Hackett still on this team? I know, dude, get a real offensive guy in here. This play calling is bad. It looks bad. Jets defense, some concerns there. Pollard had a nice day, I guess, with 17 carries, 62 yards. Nothing crazy efficiency-wise. But, they were, I guess, selling out for the run because Calvin Ridley, solid day, 77 yards and a tutty. Had a big one. Big one. Probably should have had 2. Tony Pollard, big on through the air. This is a big distribution of receptions for guys. This is supposed to be a lockdown secondary. So now this is 2 weeks in a row where the Jets didn't stop the run, and then they didn't stop the pass this week. Thank God Will Levis is awful. A lot of concerns with the Jets. Not good. I picked them to win the division. Okay, the least surprising game of the day, I would say, 23-20 between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And this just looked like a game between 2 teams who play pretty good defense, kind of whatever offense. And it's just back and forth, back and forth. Ugly game all around. Geno Smith throwing the ball 44 times with no Kenneth Walker. Not great, but we knew it was going to be a tough day on the ground for the Seahawks. That New England Patriots defensive front is nasty against the run. But a great day for him. 327, had himself a touchdown. Really strong for them, but only 19 carries, 38 yards for Charles 14, 5 for 8 for Geno. But the day was, DK had a big day, 56-yard pass. Jackson Smith and Jigba, breakout game for him, 12 catches, 117 yards. They looked really, really good in the passing attack. And my inside sources in the Seahawks building said, hey man, the Seahawks really want to throw the football this year. They want to sling the rock. They ain't about running the ball anymore. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird coming from a Ravens defensive coordinator to now they want to throw the ball. But hey, that's what happens when you hire offensive guys from college. College guys like to sling the rock. Otherwise, for New England, I didn't think they looked bad. Antonio Gibson, a really strong day on the ground, 11 carries, 96 yards. Go get him in fantasy, I guess. Because Ramondre, 21 carries, 81 yards. Not great. But this is how the Patriots have to win. They're going to pound the rock, grind you into dust. Jacoby Brissett's not going to win you any games. He's probably not going to lose you any of the games, though. 15-27, not great, but 149 yards and a touchdown, no picks. That's the big thing, no turnovers. Did take a couple of sacks there. This was just an ugly, gritty game, watching it, and not surprised. Field goal kickers, back and forth, overtime win for the Seahawks. Good win for the Seahawks on the road, but the Patriots, definitely not as bad as I think we thought they were coming into the season. Okay, congratulations to Jaden Daniels with his first career NFL win as the Commanders take down the Giants 21-18. And this is just a bizarre game. The Giants score 3 touchdowns, but their kicker gets hurt, and the Washington Commanders kick 7. Yes, 7 field goals. They got to 21 the old-fashioned way. 7 field goals, no touchdowns for the Commanders. Go off with a walk-off winner, and this was just an ugly back-and-forth game. Daniel Jones looked a little bit better this week. 2 touchdowns this week. Didn't look as incompetent, and, I mean, good for Daniel Jones, but, man, only the Giants could find a way to lose a game where you score 3 touchdowns and don't give up any touchdowns on defense, and the offense doesn't give any touchdowns either. The Commanders scored 0 touchdowns and won this game. Ran the ball well with Singletary. I mean, that's what you need. You need a 16 for 95. And this Commanders defense is bad. This is the worst defense in football. So I'm not going to take too much stock into them looking a little bit better. But all in all, I thought Jaden Daniels did a good job managing the game. They really struggled in the red zone, obviously by the 7 field goals. But that's something young quarterbacks do struggle with. 23 for 29, I absolutely love. 7 yards, a completion. That's awesome. That's what I want to see. A solid day for Brian Robinson Jr., my guy. 17 carries, 133 yards. No tutty, though. Sad day, fantasy owners. I love him, though. 7.8 carries. And we even got a little Austin Eckler in the mix. But look at this distribution. This is what I want to see here. Look, Zach Ertz, 4 receptions, 62 yards. Noah Brown, 3 catches. Austin Eckler. Terry McLaurin with 6 catches. Only 22 yards. We're not going to talk about that. You know, look at this. This is a lot of distribution for a rookie quarterback. That's what you want to see. I've been really impressed with Daniels the last 2 weeks. This defense isn't good. This is an awful defense. But I think the Commanders have potential, man. I think they have potential. Now, Jaden Daniels, 10 carries, 44 yards, a lot less this week. He's going to break. You got to figure out how to slide, please. Please figure out how to slide because you're going to break in this league. But I'm positive on the Commanders, I think, all in all. Okay, our saddest team in the NFL, the Chargers, go into Carolina and dominate the Panthers from start to finish. 26-3, never competitive in this game. I don't even think at the kickoff. Poor Bryce Young, like, it's done. He can't play in the NFL. I think they broke him. Either A, he can't play in the NFL. I just refuse to believe he is this bad. I think he's just broken. He got broken from last year. He's broken this year. He's just got no confidence. He needs a fresh start. See a guy like Baker Mayfield. See a guy like Sam Darnold, baby. We're coming up to in a second. But big football guy Jim Harbaugh just getting it done in the grittiest of ways. They shut down a terrible offense. My man J.K. Dobbins. I've been hyping him up all offseason. 17 carries, a $131, and a tutty. Gus Edwards looked washed. Like 18 carries, 69 yards, and he looks slow at the line. He's too much dancing around. I just didn't like what I see. Quentin Johnston with 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. 2 touchdowns for the guy who can't catch the football. A slow day for Ladd McConkey. I expected a little bit more out of him. But Herbert just does Herbert things. 14-20, a $130, a touchdown. Did have a pick there, which is not great. But Herbert, clearly, it looks like he's hurting. Doesn't really fit this offense. But it is nice when you have a guy like Herbert who can make big plays and big throws when you get into close games and win them. Like, they didn't have to do any of that today. This was just like, we're better than you. We know we're better than you. We're going to run the ball. 44 carries to 219. Chew the clock. Play some defense. Go home. I mean, I don't think there's any positives for this Carolina team whatsoever. At least they have their first round pick this year. So, new quarterback for them, potentially. I just don't know. Worst owner in the league. This is going to get real ugly, real quick, real sad. Panthers legit could go 0-17. All right, what was probably the ugliest game of the day between 2 teams that do not feel good whatsoever? Browns and Jaguars. It was a monsoon in Jacksonville. And the Jags, frauds, man. Officially frauds. This was bad. Trevor Lawrence, 14-30. They paid him. I don't know if Trevor's a guy. Travis Etienne, not good on the ground. This was just bad. Bad. Brian Thomas Jr., though. 2 catches, 94 yards. I like him. I like him a lot. We got Brenton Strange. 3 catches, 65 yards. Obviously, no Evan Ingram tweaks himself in the pregame warmups. That sucks. Christian Kirk, -1. 1 catch, -1 yard. Okay, but the big story here, I think, is more on Cleveland's side. Cleveland's defense traveled. Bad weather game. Cleveland's defense was the worst defense on the road last year. They played pretty well. The weather conditions helped. Doug Peterson helped them too. But Deshaun Watson didn't look incompetent this week. He started off really strong. I think he was like 8 for 8. Might have been 8 for 9 to start this game. Went down, had a nice touchdown run. It was a good start for Watson. Cooled off a little bit, obviously. Couldn't do anything. They only scored 18 points. And if you look, they had 13 at half. So 3-2. They got the safety. They scored on defense because the defense is good. Jerome Ford, nice day, 7 carries, 64 yards, not a pop. That's what you want. Donta Foreman, though. Donta Foreman getting the chunk of these carries. 14 carries, 42 yards. Like I said, Jerry Jeudy is the guy, I guess. Elijah Moore, nice. Amari Cooper, 3 catches, 11 yards. That's concerning. That is the concerning thing right here. If you're about, like, what's up with you? Use Amari Cooper. Why doesn't Deshaun Watson throw to Amari Cooper? But maybe Deshaun heard they can take his guaranteed money after this last lawsuit dropped. So he had to act like he could play quarterback again. I hate Deshaun Watson. I hate everything about him, essentially. So the Browns offense is never going to be good. They're never going to win games. But good for the defense. I like the defense. I do love me some Myles Garrett, baby. But these are just 2 idiot teams that always want to lose. And 1 idiot team had to lose. Good job, Browns. Okay, the best game and my favorite game of the day, obviously, the Minnesota Vikings taking down the 49ers in another upset, 23-17. And this game did not feel close. This game was 20-7 at a point. Aaron Jones walking into the end zone, fumbled to put the game away. Minnesota dominated this game. This was no freak win. Brock Purdy throwing the ball 36 times. Had a nice day. Did have a pick. Not a great pick. Got deflected. A little bit of bad luck. They couldn't do much on the ground. Jordan Mason, 20 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown. It was a grindy 20-carry, 100-yard day. It was just tough for them to get anything going. The big star, Deebo Samuel, was awesome in this game. He was catching everything. 8 catches, $110. And Kittle had another nice day. Brandon Ayuk, 4 for 43, but he had 22 on 1 catch. It was kind of disappeared. Juwan Jennings, a really nice couple of catches there. This was just a slog from start to finish for the Niners. Like I said, the Vikings kind of dominated. Sam Darnold, 98-yard touchdown pass, 97-yard touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson. Awesome day. Threw a bad pick. And like I said, Jones fumbled going into the end zone. Big news is Aaron Jones nicked up. JJ goes out of this game, 4 catches, 133 yards and a touchdown. He should be okay. But man, I am really impressed with this Brian Flores defense. They completely shut down the Niners defense, or Niners offense. And that's 2 years in a row that the Niners have massively struggled in Minnesota. Brock Purdy's only lost to 2 NFC teams, both in Minnesota the last 2 years. So in the regular season, obviously they lost to the Eagles. Chill, guys. Chill, Eagle fans, before you get down my neck. This was just a slog for them. I'm really impressed by it. Good job. Sam Darnold, resurgence, baby. I can live with 268, 2 touchdowns and a pick every week. Didn't love the pick, but he had some big throws on a drive to convert, go up 2 scores. Really all-around impressive performance by my Vikings. 2-0 Vikings, 2-0 Texans next week. Let's get it. And finally, the easily and most surprising game of the early window, the upset maybe. Raiders upset the Ravens. This lost everybody their survivor pool, lost everybody their parlays, every bet. The Ravens just gave this game away. They were up 10 in the fourth quarter. I don't know how it quite happened. I can't even wrap my head around it. Gardner Minshew threw an early pick, bounced back 38, like 276. Zamir White, 9. I mean, this team can't run the football. 17 carries for 27 yards. The Raiders cannot run the football. What is going on? Devontae Adams, an awesome day. Brock Bowers is a dude. I can't believe the Ravens lost this game. I'm in shock. I am legitimately in shock that the Ravens lost this game. Derrick Henry, 18 carries, 84 yards on a touchdown. He was really slow. It was later in this game. Lamar threw a bad pick. 247 and a touchdown. How the hell did the Ravens lose this game? Their defense, bad in the secondary. But we knew that. Offense doesn't quite feel right. The three new offensive linemen, I don't know. It just feels weird. The Ravens always kind of lose this game, but they don't normally lose it in their home opener after losing week 1. I don't know what's going on with Baltimore. 0-2 for the first time in 10 years. Something's up. Okay, ass kick of the day, I think, goes to the Cardinals beating down the Rams, a team they could never beat. They can't beat Sean McVay. Well, they whooped their ass today. People got on my case for saying, I think the Cardinals are a good team after watching them play Buffalo. But I also thought the Rams were good. Rams got problems. Rams got problems. Cooper Kupp left this game with an injury, high ankle sprain, so now both their stud receivers are out. Matt Stafford's still a good quarterback. The running game is bad. The offensive line's not great. They're missing a ton of pieces. And the defense is awful. Got gashed. James Conner, 21 carries, 122 yards. Kyler Murray ran 5 for 59. Get DeMarcado in there for another 46. Like, the Lions did not, it was not just like fatigue, I guess. The Lions exposed the Rams cannot stop the run. And guess what? When you're missing the best defensive player maybe ever in Aaron Donald, he retires. Yeah. Kyler Murray looked great. Marvin Harrison Jr., welcome to the NFL. 4 catches, $132 tutties. We were never worried. Trey McBride, a solid day. Recovered a touchdown in the end zone that James Conner fumbled. Should have had 2 touchdowns. Hilarious. But yeah, Cardinals, I think, are good. Gannon's a good head coach. Their team isn't like, I don't know, like this defense was bad last week. The Rams got a lot of problems, but Cardinals, baby. Go Birds. Okay, Pittsburgh goes into Denver, beats Denver 13-6. This game made my eyes bleed from what I watched. I mean, Pittsburgh's defense is awesome. I've been saying I think Pittsburgh might have the best defense in football. I still think Pittsburgh might have the best defense in football. But keep telling me how great Sean Payton is, how much a wizard he is, and how awesome, how he tricked Minnesota and took Bo Nix. Bo Nix, 20-35, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Looked horrible. Horrible interceptions. Most of these yards, garbage yards, trying to come back late in the fourth quarter when they scored 2 field goals. I mean, awful. Their offense makes my eyes bleed. They can't run the football at all. 19 carries, 64 yards. Josh Reynolds had an okay day. Had a big reception on the trick pass. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they ran a trick play for Josh Reynolds, 49-yard reception. Like, this is awful. The Broncos offense is abysmal. This is the second worst team in football. It's not close. Pittsburgh's offense not good either. 17 carries for Najee Harris. Jalen Warren got in on the mix. Justin Fields a little bit better, 13-20. Had a touchdown, no turnovers. They're going to play every game 13-10. They're going to play every game 13-10. 13-6 against a bad team. I don't know how many games they're going to win like this, but this is like the most Pittsburgh Steeler Mike Tomlin team I've ever seen in my life. Every game is going to look like this. But the Steelers are 2-0 and in first place. Okay, Chiefs-Bengals, easily the game of the day. This game was awesome. This is what you live and love football for. Fantastic game. Both teams back and forth. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Didn't look good. Looked awful today. Had threw another interception, got called back on a hold, nowhere on the field, like nowhere near the play. Joe Burrow, Bengals are back. Bengals are the best 0-2 team, they always are, but the Bengals look so much better this week. They didn't run the ball really at all. We knew this. They don't have running backs. They do not have running backs. Great all-around game. No T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, lunatic, got the 15-yard penalty. Probably cost the Bengals this game. Like, made them have to settle for a field goal when they were driving to go up, score a touchdown. Mike Gesicki, of all people, 7 catches, 91 yards. They looked a lot better, the Bengals. I'm very happy that the Bengals aren't just like the worst team in football like they look like in New England. But this is the game. Isaiah Pacheco got hurt. He had a really nice day, 19 for 90, but he did get hurt. He's questionable now. The story is the pass interference to end this game. Chiefs, 4th and 16. They get stopped. They call pass interference. Was it pass interference? Probably. Do normal teams in the NFL get that call on 4th and 16? Not a shot. Not a shot in hell. Does a normal football team get that call in a game? If it was the Vikings-Niners game and the Vikings had 4th and 16 and they threw the exact same play, it's not getting called. It's just not. It's Kansas City. It's Taylor Swift. It's always getting called. It's getting annoying. That's 4th and 16 complete bailout. That is a fringe marginal, both guys jumping pass interference. It's a bunch of horse shit. And finally, the Bears and the Texans to wrap up Sunday night. This was the ugliest second half of football I've seen in a long time. This was just ugly, nasty. Welcome to the NFL, Caleb Williams. He was awful. Got killed, was getting hit left and right. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He's got DJ Moore wishing for Justin Fields. He was frustrated by the end of this. But the Bears defense is good. They stifled the Texans offense for most of this game. Again, another team, Cam Akers going into the end zone to put this game away. He fumbles. Bears get life. Had a shot to win this game. Nico Collins, my dog, 8 catches, $135, and a tutty. Diggs, 4 catches, 37 yards. No Tank Dell. 1 catch, -3 yards. What the hell is going on with Tank Dell? Had a couple of more targets. Couldn't get the ball to him. Weird. This was an ugly game, and when you fight a hog in the mud, the hog usually wins. The hog did not win. The hog being the Chicago Bears. The Bears want to play ugly, muddy games. They want to turn you over. They want to get stops. They're kind of like the Steelers, but they were hoping the offense would be a little bit better. It's not. I'd be concerned if I'm a Bears fan. It's 2 games in. Caleb Williams does not look great. Does not look great. I'm slightly biased. He does not look great. His footwork is bad. He tries to make throws like he's still in college, and it's not all his fault. This Bears offense, this plate development is beyond slow. It's super slow. It's ugly looking. They can't run the damn football. DeAndre Swift is toast. 14 carries for 18 yards. There is a 50-50 shot I could get 14 carries for 18 yards behind a decent offense. Like, draw something up. I could go 1.3 yards for 2 carries. I can do it. I believe. Somebody block it. Come on, guys. This got to be better. You got to figure this out. Figure this out, Chicago. or don't, whatever. Joe Mixon picked up an injury. I hope he's okay. Weird hip drop injury. CJ Stroud was a stud. Should have put this game away, ran for a nice first down again on clutch third down spot. Got called back. They had the punt. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, DJ Moore fed up. Rome Odunze dropped a touchdown. Probably should have caught. I don't know. Bears bad. I don't think it's all their fault. I think this is a bad offense, bad play calling. Not good. Caleb Williams is going to be on head coach 2 very soon. Go 2 years, 2 head coaches. I think Eberflus is a dead man walking unless something gets drastically changed. But it might. It might. The Bears turned it around. Like I said, Houston, ugly win, good win. People starting to say Houston a little dirty. They were very physical. We'll find out. Play the Vikings next week. That's going to be a war, I think. Both teams 2-0. Should be a lot of fun. But that's going to do it for us this week. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who are you super high on? Who are you super low on? What were your initial reactions from all the action on Sunday? And be sure to drop by, drop a quick like on this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We got daily sports content. Every single day, we got sports content, guys. Get on there, subscribe. Got the power rankings dropping Tuesday morning. Should be a lot of fun. I rank all 32 teams after rewatching every single game, breaking it down for you there. Should be a lot of fun. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.